the watch my 9mm go bang, 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 bang. Hollywood legend.
Hollywood legend.
Hollywood legend.
Hollywood legend.
Hollywood legend. Under a pearl dusk, a nameless ember. Taught a still vessel the habit of winter. No plea to the threshold, no bargain with dawn. Just a hush, learning silk from the seam of a thorn. Far off arithmetic, slept in the marrow. Soft as a compass inside a sparrow. Alone, yet brimming, unbroken, yet bare. A rose kept breathing inside vacant air. Then came a shimmer, too slight for a tongue. A copper blue murmur, half spoken, half sung. Not verdict, not diagnosis, not chain. Rather the shape of a storm inside vein. A fever of velvet, a lattice of glass. A midnight equation, letting through mass. Insight newly tender, stood clear of the blaze. Counting the intervals, not naming the maze. No sermon was needed, no tribunal, no cure. Only the patience that renders obscure. Motions of mercury, eddies of fright. Into topologies touched by light. Bright, yes, then granite. Descent, then seam. Boots full of gravel, mouth full of steam. After long abrasion, pattern appears not as reward, but residue of years. Single and sufficient, like prime after prime. A secret cathedral outside measured time. No missing half. No absent twin. No vacancy waiting for someone to begin. When another rare frequency nears, bearing whole weather and unborrowed tears. The music unheard by possession, no claim. Threads a fresh radiance through each separate flame. Such joining is neither surrender nor snare. Not melting to nothing, not clutching for air. It moves like astronomy over black water, like ink finding parchment, like song finding altar. Your pulse keeps its province, mind keeps its plane. Yet tides exchange silver through estuary rains. Speech arrives harmless, quiet remains kind. Distance does not mutate to exile of mind. No secret auction beneath each caress. No gavel concealed in the nest. Only a grammar of neatness so fine it leaves every contour intact in the line. From there, widen out with the alley and square. The portrait to Marcus to anyone there. A hamlet is merely 1,000 brief nerves, deciding what shelter each breathing deserves. The statutes are stitched from suspicion alone. That facades were polished while marrow and stone. But where regard ripens in ordinary speech, even the far off grows almost in reach. The populous flowers not through trumpet the brand, but through many clear lanterns uncurling the land. No anthem can conjure what presence must stand. No map can complete but listening command. Single and sufficient, like prime after prime. A secret cathedral outside measured time. No missing half. No absent twin. No vacancy waiting for someone to begin. Yet when many rare frequencies gathered in here, bearing whole weather and unborrowed clear, then chorals unwritten by empire of fame kindle a shared radiance through each separate flame. Beyond that, the continents murmur and sleep. Cargo and memory crossing the deep. Toast to perfume, old ruinous grays. Powdering ashes to brighten the face. Still cinder remembers what bronze cannot hide. Nothing victorious restores what has died. So maybe the future is not forged by might, but by subtle arrangements of appetite. Classrooms that honor bewilderment thirst. Temples that soften the rhetoric of thirst. Labor the answers to enough, not excess. Inquiry braided with tenderness. Imagine a planet not cultivate, yet built so fraction need not always break. Imagine archipelagos of regard, where difference need not harden the shard. Where children inherit not slogans, but skill. How to sit in the thunder and not pick a meal. How to keep cadence through hunger and doubt. How to let midnight pass through without single and sufficient. Like the prime after prime. The secret cathedral outside measured time. Then duet, then district, then horizon sweep. Constellate intimacies, waking from sleep. Not sameness and large, not obedient stress, but manifold brightness and reciprocal rest. A trillion distinctness is lucid and warm, making vast shelter without uniform. So leave this palindrome under the tongue, an orchard of signals forever unsung. Let devotion be precise, let affection be wise. Let republics be woven from unshuttered eyes. And if there exists any Eden for dust, perhaps it begins where regard learns trust. Where every lone lantern, unafraid to endure, helps the whole midnight become less obscure. Hollywood legend. Hollywood legend. Hollywood legend. Hollywood legend. Hollywood legend. Hollywood legend. Hollywood led me to go bang, 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 bang. That's my 9mm beater. Hollywood legend, Hollywood legend. That's my 9mm. Watch my 9mm. Under a pearl dusk, a nameless ember. Taught a still vessel the habit of winter. No plea to the threshold, no bargain with dawn. Just a hush, learning silk from the seam of a thorn. Far off arithmetic, left in the marrow. Soft as a compass inside a sparrow alone. Yet brimming, unbroken, yet bare. A rose kept breathing inside vacant air. Then came a shimmer too slight for a tongue. A copper blue murmur, half spoken, half sung. Not verdict, not diagnosis, not chain. Rather the shape of a storm inside vein. A fever, a velvet, a lattice, a glass. A midnight equation, letting through mass. Insight newly tenders to clear of the blaze. Counting the intervals, not naming the maze. No sermon was needed, no tribunal, no cure. Only the patience that renders obscure. Motions of mercury, eddies of fright. Into topologies touched by light. Right, guess then granite. Descent and seam. Boots full of gravel, mouth full of steam. After long abrasion, pattern appears. Not as reward, but residue of years. Single insufficient, like prime after prime. A secret cathedral outside measured time. No missing half, no absent twin. No vacancy waiting for someone to begin. Yet when another rare frequency nears, bearing whole weather and unborrowed tears, then music unheard by possession or claim threads of fresh radiance through each separate flame. Joining is neither surrender nor snare. Not melting to nothing, not clutching for air. It moves like astronomy over black water, like finding parchment, like some finding altar. Your pulse keeps its progress, mine keeps its plane. Your tags exchange silver through estuary rain. Speech arrives harmless, quiet remains kind. Distance does not mutate to X, I love mine. No secret option beneath each caress. No gavel concealed in tenderness. Only your grammar of nearness so fine. It leaves every contour intact in the line. Widen out with the alley and square. The porches to markets to anyone there. But Hamlet is merely 1,000 brave nerves, deciding what shelter each breathing deserves. If statutes are switched from suspicion alone, and facades grow polished while marrow turns stone. But where it got ripens in ordinary speech, even the far off goes almost in reach. A populist flowers not through trumpet or brand, but through many clear lanterns uncurling a land. No anthem can conjure what presence must tend. No map can complete what listening commit. Single insufficient, like prime after prime. A secret cathedral outside measured time. No missing half, no absent twin. No vacancy waiting for someone to begin. Yet when many rare frequencies gather in here, bearing whole weather and unborrowed clear, then chorals unwritten by empire or fame kindle a shared radiance through each separate flame. Beyond that the continents murmur and sleep. Cargo and memory crossing the deep. Thrones still perfume old ruinous graves. Powdering ashes to brighten the face. Though cinder remembers what bonds cannot hide. Nothing victorious restores what has died. So maybe the future is not forged by might, but by subtler ravens of appetite. Classrooms that honor bewilderment first. Temples that soften the rhetoric of thirst. Labor the answers to enough, not excess. Inquiry braided with tenderness. Imagine the planet not cured of ache, yet built so fraction need not always break. Imagine archipelagos of regard, where difference need not harden the shard. Where children inherit not slogans but skill. How to sit in the thunder and not become ill. How to keep cadence through hunger and doubt. How to let midnight pass through without single insufficient, like prime after prime. A secret cathedral outside measured time. Then duet and district and horizon sweet. Constellate intimacies waking from sleep. Not sameness and large, not obedience dressed, but manifold brightness and reciprocal rest. A trillion distinctnesses lucid and warm, making vast shelter without uniform. So leave this palindrome under the tongue, and noted of signals forever unsung. Let devotion be precise, let affection be wise. Let republics be woven from unshuttered eyes. And if there exists any Eden for dust, perhaps it begins where regard learns trust. Where every lone lantern unafraid to endure helps the whole midnight become less obscure. Hollywood legend. Hollywood, 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 Hollywood.